What is the f-stop? It's on the top of my phone, it's in my camera, and I don't really know what it is. Well, that's your aperture. What that does is it opens and closes your lens, and the farther down you have it, the more light it's going to let in. The farther up you have it, the less light it lets in. So there's three main things you want to mess with on your camera, or on your phone. It's more going to go into auto mode. You're only going to have to mess with that f-stop. And what that's going to do is lower it goes down 2.8, more light it lets in, which will blur out your background. Now if you want some stuff blurred out, but you don't want to blur it out too much, because I got a nice bridge in the background, but I don't want that bridge blurred out all the way. Well, you're going to crank that f-stop up, which is going to close that lens up, which is going to let less light in. Less light it lets in, the more it don't blur out your background, so stuff will start coming into focus. Now it all depends on how blurred out you want it, how much you don't want to blur it out. So on your camera though, there's three things you're going to play with. There's going to be your aperture, which is your f-stop, and then you're going to have your shutter speed, and then you're going to have your ISO. Your ISO is basically fake light, so you want your ISO down as much as possible. But when you're inside in a dark spot, a dark house, or there's not much natural light, you're going to have to crank that ISO up a little bit. Now there's a meter in your viewfinder, and when you look at that meter, you're going to see that arrow move up and down, up and down, up and down. The farther right it is, the too much bright it is, too much exposure. Farther down, too dark it is, you're not getting enough. So you want it right in the middle pretty much. And then you're going to mess with that shutter speed, you're going to mess with that ISO. Like I said, if you're outside, ISO all the way down. You're outside, you probably want this pretty much open all the way. You can, like I said, if you don't want it all blurred out, crank it up a little bit. Then you're going to have to mess with your shutter speed, which is how fast that click, click, click when you hit the shutter button. That's what it's called, shutter button. So when you click that, that's how fast that opens and closes on your camera. Just boop, boop right here. That's how fast it goes click, 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 click. That's how fast it's taking the pictures. So if you're trying to take a picture of a bird flying by, you want that shutter speed up. If you're taking a picture of something still, you can have that shutter speed all the way down. Not all the way down, because then you're getting into like night stuff, where you're taking pictures at night. But you mess with that and you'll see your arrow keep moving over and over. So keep messing with those three things: your ISO, your shutter speed, and your f-stop or your aperture, and learn how to maneuver your camera a little bit. So, and then the same with on your phone. On your phone you got the f-stop, so you can play with it and see how it zooms stuff out, blurs stuff out, and blurs stuff in. Other than that, those three things you want to mess with when you're on your camera. One thing you're going to mess with on your, and that we'll see on the next one. Motivation, inspiration, information is knowledge, y'all, and peace. See you on the next one.